What's up guys, and welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. The tracks on MXB Mods are a little bit lackluster today. So what we're going to do is we are going to revisit Washougal. So this is the track that we raced yesterday for the aerial race. It was round 8 of the series, and it is the first time they've opened up 2 strokes to be able to compete. Now, if you haven't watched yesterday's live stream, I recommend you go and do so. It was a really fun one. So there's going to be spoilers in this. On the 450 side of things, I was the only person that tried qualifying on the 252 stroke, and I made it through to the races. And then in the actual races, there was about 5 of us in total. So people qualified on the 450, moved over to the 250 to the race. And I got second overall. I went 1-3 on the day, which I was really surprised by. It was a really good day all around. However, there was one person that managed to qualify on a 125 in the 250 class, which was Brovy. And I thought I would try and do a could I qualify type video today as well, riding the 125. Now, I'm not going to go based off of EU times. I'm going based off of NA times, because obviously I've had 2 full motos worth of practice on this track by now, so I know the line's a little bit better. If you look at NA times here, the cutoff is a 2:16, so that's going to be the target that I'm going for. I think it's going to be very much doable, but it'd be nice to see where I fall in here. There is one person in NA that decided to try and qualify on the 125, and that is K-Dog, and he made it in 5th as well, so really respectable time there. Love to see it. And then outside of that, it falls off quite a lot. But I'm still surprised to see, even after the track's been out for 5 hours between track release and the NA races, the gap is still like 7 seconds worth of time between top and bottom of quali. But we're going to try our very best to do well today. And just confirm, so we're loading up Washougal here. If I go to my bike, MX2 2-stroke, KTM 125, it's got my model swap on that I had on the 250 as well, just so nobody's like, are you sure you're on a 125, blah. And we're loading up the track. So we're going to do a banker lap to start. Also should mention this is going to be completely stock because I don't have setups for 125s at all, so that should make it a bit more interesting. And I think the pain points that we're going to have today, the whoops before the finish line. I think the fast line is triple quad. That's going to be really difficult to get clean. We've also got the sand after the big leap in the middle, and then the uphill after that is also going to be a struggle. And then you've also got Horsepower Hill is going to be difficult as well. Other than that, it should be okay. Tyre-wise, I don't actually know what to run. I imagine that having the smaller tyres on would help the bike go a bit faster, but then obviously with the 80 front tyre, you have like front end tucking problems. But we're going to see how it goes. Does this has a lean setting as well? We're going to leave it all as it is. I do have a marker, so we're going to see how this goes. Lap number 1 is just going to be a bank lap, as you know. Oh, hang on a second. I need to turn shift help back on again. And we'll go from here. I'll just do what the NA boys, they were doing this in their qualifying. I just saw them going for the side of the track, going really fast, and then sending this almost to flat. But we'll see how this goes instead. Oh, this bike is going to feel so slow compared to what I've been playing recently. Let's get on the brakes, round to the left. Or you can see, like, you've got to be in the right gear coming out of these corners, or it doesn't really pick up well at all. We'll jump round to the left. Oh, might as well change down a gear there. The issue with the 2-strokes that you have is where you have got to be in the perfect gear all the time. When it comes to shifting the gears, you lose so much time from having to shift so often compared to the 4-strokes. Whereas a lot of time in the 4-strokes, you can get away with, you know, bogging them a little bit. We're going to land flat here. I'm going to try and keep this in 4th gear around the corner and just see if I can keep it singing, which it is. Lovely. Going to back down to 4th, keep the power on. So far, the front end hasn't like really twitched on me at all, which is quite nice. Oh, this is painfully slow up Horsepower Hill. If I was to shift up into 5th, though, I think we'd just be bogging. So 4th gear might be the move. Let's try 5th. No, it's actually not. It's not too terrible. Also, we have no engine braking on these bikes, so got to get on the brakes down the hills. That was something that I struggled with at first when I was learning the 250 2-stroke. Go step down here. Now, I was going tight inside in my race, but I watched Skills and Racks qualifying for NA 450, and they was going outside of the inside, and then round the outside, so they was taking one different line there. That felt pretty damn quick. Oh, okay. Have to stretch that out. I completely forgot about that jump, I'll be honest. 4th gear through the sand, would bog in a little bit, not too bad. Take the low line here on the left side, keeps the bike lower to the ground. And then I also found this line out. Cam showed me this one in Moto 2 yesterday. Feels quite nice. Can we get over this bad boy? Yes, we can. Not that difficult either. I have no idea if that was like an intentional thing that Stoney done by adding that big bump there, or if it was just a mistake. But that double over that is really, really straightforward. And let's see what the rollers are like then. So triple, case the triple in, triple again, try and stretch the quad out. Not quite. That was only a 218. I'm okay. 8 seconds off pace. This will be interesting. Maybe not as easy as I thought then. Okay, K-Dog must have been absolutely barking the virtual dirt course. I'm going to have to try and get a little bit chicken sendy. Ooh, scrub this bad boy. I'm going to go to the right here so you can say a little bit lower. Ooh, guys, it does sound nice when you're in the right gear on these things, but my God, is it painful when you mess something up. And then round the outside. I believe a lot of the enablers are also going around the outside here as well, which then probably gives them a better slingshot for the hill. If I keep it in 5th up the hill rather than 4th, is it better? Oh yeah, much better. Much better indeed. Try and keep it in 5th a little bit longer. Ooh. So actually, this might actually be more of a interesting video than I first thought. I thought this would be easy, job done, no problem at all, but proves not to be the case. No idea where I'd gain 8 seconds from, to be fair, on this lap time. I mean, I'm on 2 litres of fuel, and I don't feel like I'm going particularly slow. Didn't crash anywhere either. Stretch this out. There we go, up and over that. That'll give me some more speed now for this straight. Oh, I landed on one of the bumps. That's not ideal. I want to try and keep the wheels on the ground. Keep forgetting to go to the left side of the track here. Every single time I forget to do it. Yo, yeet. Down into 3rd. Double up and over the wall. Try and hold this line a bit better this time, which I did. 2.5 seconds up. That'll get me. I'll be on a 2:15 right now if it finishes like this. Although I do need to hit this last section nice. Go down into 3rd, hit this as fast as I can, send that, stay low there, quad out, and that has given me a very low 2:15, I think. So still 5 seconds off of K-Dog's 1:25 time, which is unreal. Like really impressive lap time that he's ran there. But yeah, that would have qualified me. So the question to could you qualify? Absolutely, yes, you could. Actually, let me check. Whilst we're going here, because I haven't actually looked at the 250 times yet. Where did the 250 guys, the EU 250 guys get? What was their cutoff? Oh my God, okay, 2:17.3. So the 2:15 would have put me around here, so around 13th or so. Barovi was the only 125 to qualify in here. He had a 2:17.1. And then the fastest time was Steiner with a 2:10.5 on the Honda. It's nice to see a little bit of difference in bike as well, rather than the usual KTMs and Huskies in there. So nice, good stuff all around. So I mean, is it the right tyre to use? Should I try? Let me try rocking the 120 on the rear. I just feel like it's going to slow the bike down too much. And just to prove as well, if I go to compare to default here, it's all standard, you know, other than that. Let me try another attempt then. We'll see how this goes. And triple in, triple again. This triple was actually not as bad as I thought it would be. It's when it gets eroded, and it kind of... This applies to the 252 strokes as well, is the bikes, when the track's smooth, you're still at a disadvantage power-wise to the 450s, or to the 4-strokes in general, but it's still doable, you know? It's when the track then gets eroded, for whatever reason, even if you've got what you think is a dialed suspension on the 2-strokes, they don't handle the rough stuff quite as well, especially in the erode. Like if you're in an eroded line and there's a little bump, usually on the 4-stroke it would just kick you a bit, but on these it either pops you right up into the air or sends you over the handlebars. And I have a feeling it's just because of how light the bikes are. Like it just doesn't feel quite as planted as the 4-stroke counterpart does. Let's go again, right. 4th gear. Jump to the left to open up this corner, double around the corner. Try and get on the brakes in time, did not, so I'm going to go middle rut. Go around the outside here, seems to be much quicker than the inside, at least in my opinion, I feel like it is. And then you can kind of low line it on the left as well. Scrub this bad boy. NA boys were launching this from the inside and downside in like one random bump up ahead in this turn, but that seems a little bit high risk, high reward for me for the sake of this video, so I am not going to be doing that. I am 0.7 up though. I mean, I'll probably lose it at some point in this lap, but even be 0.7 up is really, really nice. And then I prefer inside here because you can kind of apex it. Although I guess I'm not going to have as much drive for the hill now, am I? Yeah, 50 is bogging a little bit more for me. So, okay, now I see why they was all going outside. And then they was launching this to flat, basically, railing this rut. Guess it gives them a better slingshot on this straight, but I actually lost time to my inside that lap. It's interesting seeing, like, kind of where you gain and lose time and how it affects the next section of track. My question is going to be now, will this lap actually count? Because you saw I went on the grass for a little bit there. I hooked too hard left coming out the corner. Ooh. Also don't know what the fastest way around this corner is. Let me just try going outside. Again, just because of the slingshot, I could probably get over this without having to stretch it quite as hard. Oh, I lost... Oh no, middle. Middle definitely was quicker. I lost like 0.6, I think, in that one corner by itself. Okay, noted for future. Then we're going to come far left here, stay nice and low. Did not mean to case it, scrubbed it a little bit too hard. So this lap was not faster at all. The 120 rear tyre doesn't really seem to be hindering me at all. The reason that I'm down on time is purely because of my line choice. So that's an interesting experiment to have. I thought the whole issue with the 120, I suppose sand will be a bit different. I was accidentally holding my brake by mistake there. I suppose the whole point of the 120 really was to have more grip at the cost of less speed. But if even on a 125 I'm not noticing a difference in terms of the speed, I think the tyres might need to be tweaked a little bit more than they are right now, because that's a bit weird. It almost feels like there's no trade-off. So maybe 120 is just the way to go all the time on everything, unless it's sand. Sand is kind of like the anomaly in this game. It's the enigma. I would recommend running a lower tyre for sand, just because then you do feel the effects of the heavier tyre weighing you down. I'll jump this to the outside. Don't know if I should have been in 50 there, but we're rocking it. Ooh. Yeah, I'm going to go outside here again. Can I keep it in 5th around the corner? Ah, there's where the 80 front end bites you. Ah, God, that's tough. That is really, really tough. Let me reset track as well, because I think I foolishly loaded this up with like 0.6 erode. So it's going to get a little rut here and there. Yeah, I saw some of the NA boys just absolutely sending it down this straight and launching this all the way into the corner to like gain those vital tenths at the start of the lap. That shiz do be brazy to me. I don't think anyone in EU was bothering to do it. Ooh, right up on the pegs again. But genuinely, the fact that I've qualified, I don't think it actually means too... Well, the fact that I would have qualified, I don't think it means too much. The fact that I'm 5 seconds off of what K-Dog ran on a 125 as well, that is crazy. Like, that must have been an insane lap. Well, I don't know if he records his videos or anything. That would have been probably quite a good one to watch, I think. And we're going to shift up to 4th. I have a feeling this lap won't count because you saw where I went off the track after the first couple of corners. But it'll be nice to kind of look up at the time and the scoring, you know, and see what the lap time would be if we make it to that point. So I actually preferred inside here than outside. I don't know if it's because it's the 125, you know, you can only get so much speed out of it, so the slingshot doesn't really matter too much. Over the bars and off the track. God damn. Okay. So I've noticed the first 2 laps were actually okay laps, and now that I'm trying to put the hammer down and trying to go for more burners, seems to be a little bit more difficult to actually do. Right, on the brake, missed the inside again. That's going to cost me a whole bunch of time. Let's try inside. Yeah, I don't like these like really low speed sections on the 2-strokes because you just have to change gear so much. On a 450, you can probably, I mean, especially on the Austrian bikes where you've got quick shift as well, you can genuinely probably just get away with keeping it in like second, third gear, and then you haven't got to shift in between all of the corners. But even on this 125, I mean, gearing will be very dependent as well. Sometimes you have to go as low as first just to get the damn thing to move out the turn. And then it's like if you've got a long straight after it, you have to shift 3 or 4 times for the straight. And every time you shift, you lose like a good 1/10 or 2/10. Crazy. So I try and keep it in as high gear as possible while still being able to move forwards, but they do bog pretty damn hard. I mean, suspension could come into play as well, but I don't think a suspension's going to save me 5 seconds a lap. So that does just come down to skill issue. There we go. It was a decent slingshot. I'm in a decent rev range up the hill as well. Send that. Double round the corner. Nice. Just keeping it in 5th gear, actually. It doesn't feel too bad. Got to land on the correct braking bump there. That 80 front end is biting me, man. Yeah, I mean, I know that I've done 8 attempts at laps here, which doesn't sound like much. I do have a lap that would have qualified me, so I guess the whole concept of the video is yes, I could have qualified on a 125. But I am so far off the pace, it's ridiculous. Like, disgusting amount. I wonder how much of a difference 90 front makes on these things, and does it feel like... Let's give it a go. Whilst we're experimenting, we may as well. Let's try a 90 front, 120 rear, and we're going to go save, done, to track. We are going to... Some fluff on my leg. We're going to reset here. I'm going to give it another 1, 2, 3 maybe attempts and see how this feels. Because whilst it helps with the turning and the stability, the issue that you have is, I think you notice the weight of the 90 front end more than you do the weight of the 120 rear end. But we shall see. I don't do much experimenting like this, to be fair, with tyres and all this sort of thing. I'm sure even like tyre pressure will come into play as well. It did feel, as I exited that turn there, it did feel like the bike was being held back a little bit. So that's worth mentioning. It'll be interesting to see how Horsepower Hill feels. Horsepower Hill feels. Mostly because I'm kind of on the edge of being in the right gear around that corner, or around that, up that hill. Like 5th gear is kind of the limit of where it's at. But if I've got a heavier front tyre, it'll probably bog more. It's 0.25 at the bottom of the hill, 0.18 by the top. So it does seem to be slowing me down a little bit on the straights. It's not an insane amount. It really isn't. It's quite a minute difference. But for the sake of the bike stability in the corners like that was disgusting. It could be worth it. So you kind of gain time in the turns, but you lose it on the straights. I mean, it's a fair trade-off, I think. Oh, look at that. The confidence I had around that corner compared to the 80 front was wild. And then I've got to try and hit this rut. Nice. Nice. Stretch this bad boy out. Downsided that. Lovely. Okay run through the sand. The sand is really where the bike would get bogged down the most. I didn't even try scrubbing at that time. I'm just a big old skill issue on her. Up on the pegs, around the outside. Jump this down to the left to make life easier for yourself. Pop up and over that. Oh, way too far. No, I've ruined the lap right at the end. Don't know what I'm in 5th gear. Let's go up to 3rd. Row this. Send it into the whoops. Triple, triple, triple. Get the quad out clean. And beat it by 1.1 seconds. So, what was that? 2:14 flat. Okay, so only 4 seconds off now. Genuinely, I mean, that was a pretty damn good test of 80 front compared to 90 front. You lose a little bit on the straights. So, like up Horsepower Hill, I think I lost like a 1/10. In the sand, I might have lost a tiny bit as well. But you make it all up in the corners and the confidence that you have in the front end in the corners. So if you are, I mean, this is mostly since the most recent game update, since Beta 19, and the front ends are a little bit more twitchy than they used to be. If you are struggling with it and you're still rocking the 80 front end, try the 90 out. You might enjoy it. It's something that I've been using on the 450. It's what I used on the 252 stroke yesterday as well. Just give it a go. Generally, give it a go, because that felt like I could just push the bike so much harder in the corners and not have to worry about it sliding out on me. So yeah, could you qualify for Washougal on a 125? You're damn right you could. This might even stay as like completely unedited as well, so you see the whole process. So if you've enjoyed seeing me spin some laps, and some two-stroke action, then by all means do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's very much appreciated. And I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to. Nothing else. Goodbye.
Lynn's in the zone, never backing down. Riding MX bikes, he's the talk of the town. 2022 champ with a YouTube crown. His game is tight, no signs of slowing down. Late nights, bright lights, he's chasing that fame in the digital arena. Writing his name, she's a 10 out of 10. Supporting his lane, hairline might receive, but his passion's the same.